Hello YouTube Pipe community, OTC Piper here with a little something different. As I was enjoying one of my favorite military movies on Veterans Day, which was Act of Valor. There are many good ones out there. That's the one I had chosen for that day. I was watching it and I was just reminded of a lot of the things that my time in the military has instilled in me and that stay with me today. And I thought I'd do a quick video on it, and that thing being self-reliance. I've always kind of gravitated to self-reliance, even as a boy, and it's just fitting that I found my role in the military, and that kind of helped hone that with me a little bit. And before we get too much into that, I'm going to get a pipe going. I got some Lane Limited Burley in one of my estate medicos. I got my heater keeping the coffee carafe warm. So, I've been, in more recent times, kind of been mislabeled as a prepper. And not that I'm knocking the idea of prepping or anything like that. I'm not doing that at all. And I know that's where some people kind of get very sensitive on the matter. I'm not knocking that at all. I know there's a lot of people I encounter and I talk to that stockpile food and water and ammo and all that kind of stuff. And that's good. Good to have. My whole thing is, what happens when the food runs out? Things like that. Now, I'm not necessarily, trying to bunker in and yeah, there are, there are possibilities that some catastrophic events could happen that could very much change the way that we live our lives. A lot of my self-reliance has to do with stockpiling the most important thing, which is knowledge. So I get out there, and this is the time of year that I'm more active outdoors. And I'll be bringing a little bit more of that to the channel once I get out to some of the places I like to go hiking and things like that. When I think about it, I think about the self-reliance that faces you on a day-to-day basis, and would even help prepare you for maybe a long-time self-reliance ordeal. So I have my EDC bag. And this is something that I keep with me, all the time. A small little bag, and it, has, keeps the few little goodies that I need on a regular basis. I got some, a pencil and a pen. I always keep one of each, just right here on the molly. Now this is kind of more of the military style, and there's a lot of philosophies on the gray man principle and everything that would suggest this isn't a good idea. I mainly use it. Number one, I bought this at a place that anybody can walk in and buy something. So it's not, I'm not trying to wear a military uniform or anything like that, but just the durability and the ruggedness of some of these products, and the benefit of having some of the MOLLE things on there, to me, just make it a little bit more useful. So that's what I do. Now this is my warmer weather EDC bag, and I'm about to transition into my cold weather EDC, which I keep these same things, and I add a few additional things. And we'll get into that, maybe not all in one video. I might do a series on my self-reliance. So I'm going to start with this one. I got some things that maybe on the next video I'll show you what I'm going to add. First thing on the outer pocket here, always good to just keep an extra bottle of water. In fact, I had to use some just last night. We had a Monday night special event with a prophetic evangelist that came to our church and everything. And so it's one that our church has been teamed up with for a while. Service went long, and I needed some water, so I had my go-to right here. I just recently refilled it. But in this first pocket, one of my mini lighters I keep in there, just a means to make fire, a cable to charge my phone. I use this on a regular basis just when my phone goes dead in my truck and I can plug that in. Maybe not all self-reliance or survival type situations will allow you the use of a phone. But for the ones that do, I have this. You can never go wrong with a good Gerber multi-tool. I keep several of these around. One goes in my bag. And another one, a lot of people don't have, deck of playing cards. Because I keep this around because you never know when you're with your kids or you're with a group and they have some kids, and a survival situation, if you're faced with that at any point, it can be kind of a stressful situation, and it gives them something to do, something to kill the time with. So on top of this thing, I have a shamal that I keep tied, just like the one I'm using right here. It has many different uses. Water filtration. It definitely keeps you warm in the winter and cool in the summer. You can shade yourself from the heat of the sun. You can do all kinds of wraps, for your face. Sometimes I like to do like a hood and tie it around my neck, and it kind of insulates the hoodie if you have a hoodie on. I'll keep a lot of hoodies around in this kind of weather because in Texas it can go from very cold to warm very quickly. So if you want to downgrade and not have so much of a thick coat on, you can always have a hoodie. So I got another compartment right here, a little auxiliary compartment. There's one item in here I use a lot. If I need to sweeten somewhere, if I'm eating out somewhere, I don't use sugar anymore. I keep a bottle of stevia in there. That's just for, you don't really need that for survival or anything like that. I just keep it around. Small little thing of cordage. I have a larger one. Little flattened out roll of tape just in case you need a little bit. Another lighter. And I keep some Atlas cedar. Just kind of helps keep things fresh. Cedar, the essential oil, is a great natural deodorant, or cover scent. If you're ever out hunting or something like that. And just got another little folder here. It's just it's a small one. It's not going to cut firewood or anything, but it's good if you need something. Put this back in. So, I'm not one of those that, prepares for a zombie apocalypse or anything like that. That's not on my radar at all. But, the things, a lot of people, when they look at me and they kind of, make funny eyes at me, because I have all this stuff, and it's not that I'm getting off onto conspiracy theories or anything like that. They're, that's another video in and of itself, how society has viewed things like that. But, say you're out and your vehicle breaks down and you're out of cell service or something like that. I mean, I could list a myriad of things that could face you on a regular basis that you don't think, you don't think about it now, but you might be in a situation where you wish you had this or that. And I've, like many have done, come up with a way to carry a small amount of things that could make such an ordeal, go a little bit better. So on the side, I have another folder over here that I just keep right here on the sling. Cheap little one you get at Walmart, it's cheap as those are. You buy a few of those, you have them around. I'm not really big. I keep a folder. I keep one on my person as well, but I put more stock into a fixed blade. They're more durable, in a situation like this. And the folder is convenient to have on your side. That's no doubt. But one of the things I keep is a Mora knife. You can see right here, and these are great little knives. It's not a full tang. I know a lot of people turn their nose up at it because it's not a full tang, but this is probably the most durable rat tang knife that I've ever put my hands on. A good carbon steel blade. It just and you get them for $10. They're really inexpensive and very well made. So I would encourage you, if you're of a like mind, to pick those up if you haven't already. My main compartment here is where all the goodies. Oh, I missed one of my side compartments here. I do keep my little pocket Bible in there with it, and a little notepad. I have another little notepad in there. I won't get it all out, but it's similar to this one. Get that put up. So I'm starting this now because we're about to go on a little trip, and I want to have my winterized EDC ready to go. But you've seen this one before. I keep this one in there. You've seen this before in some of the mantles with Dave, where I have a couple extra blends, a couple extra pots, and some pipe cleaners, and I keep an extra lighter in here. So that stays with me in my EDC bag. And what I like about this is it's very compartmentalized. I know my camera position you can't really see, but you got a lot of just different zipper pockets and everything. It kind of helps you. I know some people like the dump bag. I'm not as big into the dump bag because I like to have it laid out where you can get to specific items very quickly. That's why I've taken this little zipper bag here. Can't even remember where I got it. But this is kind of where I have just a hodgepodge of utility items. A couple of batteries left. I had to use some the other day. That's why I need to refill those. Little screwdriver with some ends on it. Pipe cleaners, more for pipes and everything, but you never know what you may find them for. Some things that super glue. And this is one. I got a couple extra lighters in here. This is one that I recommend everybody get a hold of. Is some of the shoe goo. It's meant for fixing shoes, but boy, I'm telling you, you can glue just about anything with that stuff. And I like that little thing of sandpaper. And this is one. Now, this is more of a signaling device. Now, a lot of people, there are a lot of companies are putting out survival stuff that's all bright orange and everything like that. I don't really go for that because we may not want to be found if it's a real bad situation. I like to have items where I don't let my tools determine that for me. I have ways that I can signal if I need to. And this is just a little battery powered pin light. It goes through different modes. You use that when you need to. Get all this put back where it goes. I dropped the little pipe cleaner down there. I'll get that later. So I just set these out. I'll repack later after I cut the film. There's that. And these are just all ways that you can take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and put it in an easy to carry around, very manageable thing. I have a little pack of, you know, being in the hot weather, the Ivarest, you know, you got pre-contact solutions, post-contact, some sunscreen in here, some insect repellent, things like that. That in the warmer climates is very beneficial to have. Oh, bumping my camera here. Get that position better. And now I'm not going to get them all out, but I have just some random. I have some pins, a little box cutter, some magic markers. Magic markers are actually good if you do need to signal or leave a trace or something like that. You can mark things, you know, pieces of paper from the notebook or whatever. This is another thing. These little Mylar fold-up emergency blankets do a lot of good, especially even in the summertime, because you know, you can still lose heat, you know, on the ground and things like that in the summertime. One of the coldest nights I've ever spent was in the middle of summer in Fort Hood, where we were bivouacked out, and I was on the ground thinking, well, it's just so hot and everything. Boy, that ground soaked so much heat, and I was shivering, and I made sure to correct that the next night. But so that's that one. Let's see. This is another cool little thing that I got. It's a little pop-up cup. You can have, makes it into a, you can make it into smaller sizes, whatever you may need. Let's see. Oh. So here's some actually very useful items. I have another fixed blade. This is a Gerber strong arm. This is a great knife. This one is a full thing and can take a beating. And so can this snap, apparently. There we go. It's got a good thick blade on it. Nearly a 1/4 inch blade. Keeps a very sharp edge. And it's got a thing you can put it on your belt if you need to. In Texas, we can carry this length around. I don't know what the regulations are in other states, but you know, we just recently had some legislation that allowed us to carry longer. Like it took away the length restrictions. This one is legal with the previous length restrictions, but you can carry larger knives now, and we can now carry stilettos and double-edged blades as well. But something like this is just right up the alley of what I need. Let's see here. More 550 cord binoculars. A little hand sanitizer. That's always handy to have, because an infection in a survival situation is a death sentence. I'll say that. Little fold-up spade if you gotta dig something out. And this is what a lot of people don't quite understand, but I got my state map in here. It's a good laminated copy of it. Because wherever you happen to be and you need to get somewhere, you can kind of, I mean, this isn't like something as specific as like some of the military maps and everything, but this kind of shows you some of the main roads for you to know what to look for. And another one that I love and go to all the time is Wild Edibles. This is one for my area. They make them for all the different areas. It's a way that you can sustain yourself when you don't have the means to hunt, because it does take a lot to get a good significant amount of meat with the equipment that you would need, things like that. So, and when I do an EDC bag like this one isn't meant for long term. This is meant to get you to where you need to be, in a pinch. And I think that's all of this one. And we'll go over the things that I'm going to add on the next video. But another thing that I do is I have a few items that I keep on me all the time. I do have a little folding knife on my, clipped to my pocket. You've seen those. This is like that utility bag that was in here. This is a similar one. It's a smaller version of that, but it has a lot of the same things that are in this one. Forget what I put in here. Oh, just small little, a few hooks and weights and everything like that, and some line. But there's that one, and day or night, it's always good to keep a flashlight on you, because you never know if you'll have a chance to ever get back to something like this when you may need it. So I keep one on me all the time. And I have two magazines for my Glock, and I won't get that all the way out. I know a lot of people may not carry a firearm. I know even before I was a police officer, I carried one with my concealed handgun license and all that. I still maintain my handgun license and with my credentials and all that. But I've even before that, I've kept a firearm on me. Just being a responsible citizen, I've taken advantage of that for many years. And a lot of people, and this may go into a separate video as well, I carry a full-size Glock 17. A lot of people say, oh, well, you can't carry something like that. You got to get something small. And I'm here to say you really don't. Now, when I was a lot larger than I am now, of course, I didn't have any problem with that. But even now that I've lost a considerable amount of weight, I find it's very comfortable to carry. And I'll just show you right here. I'm kind of just wearing a knit shirt. Okay. Take this off. You can kind of see there a little bit. Now, clip my mic back up here. You can kind of see it printing right there a little bit. And I'm not saying that you won't ever print maybe just a little bit with it. That's going to happen with a lot even your subcompacts. It's all in the way that you carry it. This one I keep with a good forward cant on it. And it just kind of keeps it firm up to my body. And now I know just by moving it out of position a little bit like that, you can kind of see where it prints a little bit more. You just got to find the sweet spot for it. And it does real good for you. So I do that. And that's kind of my on my person EDC and my small bag. And as I go through some of these things in other videos, I have stuff I keep in my truck all the time, which is a lot different than what you would carry on you. Is you carry more, probably a larger bag. Some things that might, help you to get through more on a longer term basis if you're ever in that situation. So, this is just something that I wanted to say after I watched that video, that movie. Kind of reminded me of a lot of these things, and I encourage everyone to think about that. Because when you can be, you're more independent, and I think that's a lot of what freedom really stands for, is to be independent and not have to depend on somebody else. So for the longest time, I've pursued self-reliance, and I would just encourage everybody to think along those lines and ways that you might be able to be more self-reliant. You just think of the things that you find yourself in need of. And this is a growing thing. I mean, it's kind of a living bag, because when I come into a situation where I don't have something, I really need it, how can I incorporate this into my EDC? You know, you just learn from those things, and it kind of expands with you. But it's a very real situation. Not necessarily like the movie show with, like, you know, zombies and all that kind of thing, but all kinds of things that could find you just through regular unfortunate circumstances, and how you might could be better prepared to fend off old Murphy there. So that's all I had on this one, and I have some things, I've even set them out, and we're going to do another video, and I'll show you the things that I added to winterize my EDC. With that, I'm going to sign off. OTC Piper wishing everybody all the best, good times, and a warm pipe.